What's good, guys? Welcome to the 6 best bets, including lock of the week. I want to mention we are on a 2 lock of the week streak, that being Carlos Ulberg and Brian Battle. I want to mention how Brian Battle, if it wasn't for the clinch, that guy would have been losing that fight. And sometimes it makes you sweat a little bit more than you have to. That is one of those sweats where we shouldn't have had to sweat. This guy missed weight by 4 pounds, and he still was struggling against Randy Brown. I guess the striking, the length was a little too long for him, but he still managed to win that fight. But I do not like fights like that where it's a sweat and this guy's missing weight by 4 pounds and he still has a performance like that. So I'm trying to find a better lock of the week, a lock of the week that has no sweat, and a lock of the week that can be chill. We could place it and we could chill. We don't have to worry about this guy missing weight. Although I will foreshadow something, he might miss weight. Let's go. Sometimes it's to their advantage. Let's go. I want to mention how this has probably been one of my best series, my favorite series to make, but it does take a little bit longer time than usual because of the parlay section. I recently added a new segment to this, the parlay section, and that's where we go over the parlays and we look at how the parlays do, the DGen parlays and how the parlays did, and we were able to hit a couple of parlays. So let's go. I want to mention how this is going to be a very interesting 6 best bets, including lock of the week. So enough yip yapping, let's get into it. Let's go. My first most confident pick of the week. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ramon Tavares. I want to mention how Ramon Tavares is faced to set off against Davy Grant. But the reason why I had to put him in here is because it's a pick'em. Davy Grant's a minus 113. Ramon Tavares is minus 113 as well. So we got to see. You can flip a quarter on it. I know Davy Grant is a very, very good boxer. Although he's a vet, this guy's fairly new into the UFC, fairly new into his career. And he's going to be faced off with a tough challenge against Davy Grant. Davy Grant's going to be looking to wrestle. He's going to be looking trying to get this guy down. He's going to be looking to mix up his mixed martial arts. But I think Ramon Tavares should be able to have this in the bag. Ramon Tavares is the younger fighter. We have to mention, though, the outside unknown of what happens with a fighter. UFC fighter Ramon Tavares was almost killed last week in Jacksonville when armed men drove up to his mother's house. He survived and will be leaving Duval County as brother was killed due to gun violence in 2019. So unfortunately, he lost his brother to gun violence. He realizes that Jacksonville is not the safest spot. Shout out to Julio. He ended up dying in Jacksonville, Florida. That's where he grew up. So Jacksonville, Florida, maybe to some is not as safe as it would be to others, or maybe it's not as safe at all. I want to mention that losing your brother, whether it was 5 years ago, 4 years ago, yesterday, it will always have an effect on you. All I desire is already mine's. Born for this.
Some people are just born to fight, I think. It's not that they're born brave. It's not that they're born strong. It's just that the universe has decided that this one will have grit and fire and steel in their blood. And it'll be tested, this cosmic metal of theirs. They'll face trial after trial.
His brother, his own brother, was killed to gun violence, man. How many of us or how many people lose our family members and our loved ones and it affects us and it wasn't due to murder? So just imagine losing your loved one to murder. It just hits home. It hits hard. A pain that nobody can ever deal with. A pain that will be with you till you lay on your deathbed.
And damaged in countless ways. But this one was born to fight. Maybe it's not the life they would have chosen. Maybe they'd love to lay down their arms. But they were born to fight. It's what they know. It's what they do best. It's all they can do.
If you have the opportunity to play this game of life, you need to appreciate.
All right, so that's Roman Tavares, guys. It was going to be my lock of the week, but I was like, nah, that's a little bit too close. You don't want to get into that Themba Garimbo feeling where you feel a little bit like you want them to win so bad because you're biased, and then they end up losing to a guy who's just better than them. So he's facing off against Davy Grant. I think he should have success. He did beat Cortavius Ramirez, and he was able to have a successful UFC debut as well in defeating City. I know a lot of people think that it was a robbery, but everything happens for a reason, guys. Everything happens for a reason. So give me Ramon Tavares to beat Davy Grant as my first most confident pick of the week. My second most confident pick of the week. I think this was a little bit more obvious, but let's go. Miranda Maverick, 14-5-0. She's set to face off against Jamie Linhorth, plus 390. Miranda Maverick is a minus 590. So if you're looking and you're like, oh, this girl's odds are too juiced, Obviously, the odds aren't fully up. All the props aren't fully up. She's a minus 590, but we can reduce the odds if we go Miranda Maverick by submission or on points. That's a little bit safer, but we have to realize why we're choosing Miranda Maverick. I want to mention how her striking is very unique as well. Something that I don't see a lot of women MMA doing. An elbow up the middle. Very unique. A nice little elbow up the middle can just prevent a girl who's just walking you down, just hit her with a nice elbow up the middle, and it changes the whole trajectory of the game, and she was able to win that fight by a doctor stoppage. So that was a very good win. I would like to see some more upwards elbows, and we know that primarily her whole game is not her power, it's her grappling department. We see how she was able to get Monzo down, control her, snatch up that neck. Once the rear naked choke is in, you can tell once it's sink in. With Ian Gary and Shavkat, you knew it wasn't in because it was right here. But when the choke is right here, you know that that choke is going to be in for a while, and that person either has to go to sleep like Pantoja, Asakura, or that person is going to be forced to tap like in this case. Miranda Maverick is by far one of my favorite fighters to watch, most confident fighters to be in, and she is one of my most confident picks. I believe she just got married recently. I'm not sure. 3 years legally married to my other half, and I like to see her training as well. So when we see her training, she trains in the full-size octagon, the full cage. We know sometimes with the Apex it's a smaller cage, but she has a very good cage style, and she has good sparring partners as well to mimic Jamie Linhorth. You know, bigger fighters that are going to be bigger than her, fighters that are going to be a little bit faster than her, that are going to give her a different feel to different angles of trying to find her rhythm. So I believe that her training is by far one of her best routines to get in the regimen to win. So that is my second most confident pick of the week. My third most confident pick of the week. Enough yip yapping. Let's go. You guys are here to make money. Let's go. Felipe Lima set to face off against Miles Johns. We want to mention how this fight's at 145. A couple of days ago, I thought that this fight was going to be at 135. The fact that this fight is at 145 is a massive movement. I think Felipe Lima versus Miles Johns. Felipe Lima at a minus 280. Miles Johns at a plus 200. I think if you want to look at how this fight can go, Miles Johns by decision or Felipe Lima by submission or decision, in my opinion. I think if there's a finishing upside, it's on Felipe Lima's side. We know Felipe Lima has trained with Khamzat Chimaev. It's a picture. You know, how much can you speculate off of a picture? But I think that they've trained together as well. Right here is him hitting the pads. Let's put some sound to it. What I like is when a fighter hits the pads and you see how his foot, let me lower this a little. You see how his foot extends, his heel goes up as he's throwing the punch. Little things like this, these basic routines are things how you can speculate whether this guy knows what he's doing or not. So he's very good at hitting the mitts. I know everybody can look good hitting the mitts, but I thought that was pretty important to explain. I want to mention his most recent win, by far one of the biggest upsets against Muhammad Naimov. So when I translate the post, it's Felipe Lima 13-1 submission win over Muhammad Naimov, who was 11-3 in his UFC debut. So it was at the time, but this weekend, the former Octagon champion will try to string together a 14 consecutive victory, his second in the UFC. So he is an Octagon champion. He's a big prospect. A lot of people look at this guy and they're very high on him. We have to look at how his leg kicks can sometimes set up Miles Johns' takedowns. We saw Muhammad Naimov was able to grab that leg kick. If Miles Johns is doing tape study, he should grab that leg kick and turn it into a takedown. But we're not on Miles Johns. We're not trying to help Miles Johns. We're trying to help Felipe Lima. So in my opinion, I like the way Felipe Lima, when he gets clinched, he clasps his arms and pulls him to the cage, pushes him to the cage, pushes his head to get that movement in, tries to get into work. He's getting pushed against the fence, and what does he do? He slips out and gets control. This is very important because not everybody who's new to grappling is not going to be able to do this. You rarely see this in MMA, in women's MMA. So he tries to go, lifts up his foot, takes the back because he pushed too forward for that takedown. Muhammad Naimov made a massive mistake trying to get this takedown, slipped, and he has to pay for that. Felipe Lima takes his back, shows Felipe Lima has that grappling, hooks in his leg, sinks in that choke very, very quick. That choke was in his mind as he was already taking the back. Hooks in the leg. As he's hooking in the leg, the choke is already hooked in. All he has to do, squeeze. Don't squeeze with all your pressure. Squeeze a little bit harder until he can't breathe, and then we go. That's how you do it. That's exactly how you do it. Felipe Lima is a boss. I have him to beat Miles Johns. This guy is a beast, and I think he should be able to beat Miles Johns in fantastic fashion. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a finish. If it's submission, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a submission again in the late third round. It's going to be a banger fight. Let's go. My 3 most confident picks of the week. I'm going to give you guys my 4th most confident pick of the week, and then after my 4th is my lock of the week. So let's go. 4th most confident pick of the week. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. Sheen Woodson, 12-1-0. He's set to face off against Fernando Padilla. Fernando Padilla is a dog that everybody loves. Plus 130 for Fernando Padilla. Sheen Woodson's a minus 166. Why I put him in the 6 most confident picks of the week. You're probably like, why would you be confident in a guy who could probably get his neck snatched up by a guy like Padilla? But the reason why is because of the odd value. Minus 166, plus 130. You got to take somebody in this fight. So I'm going to take Sheen Woodson. We have to show the Saldana finish, how he was able to get finished by, not finished, but close to getting finished. And this guy, Saldana, is long. Padilla's long. His neck, but his neck is almost as long as his arms. So when we see a guy who's almost in a mirror match, he tends to struggle when he's faced with a similar reach as his opponent. Right here, he got dropped. He didn't know where he was. This guy failed a walk-off KO, completely sold an easy win that he had. He had Sheen Woodson off of his skates, off the brink of concussion, and this guy throws an illegal knee. You have to time that out. Maybe if this was 5 years into the future, maybe it would count, but right now it does not count. And Sheen Woodson was able to successfully have a 2nd and 3rd round in order to not have a win, but a draw. The reason why a draw is important is because it shows that Saldana, he's cut from the UFC, he's trash, whatever, but he had potential. But a guy like Sheen Woodson, after facing adversity, after getting dropped, after being off the skates, is still able to come back 2nd and 3rd round and have a draw so he doesn't get a loss on his record. I thought that was a pretty impressive performance, although he got dropped. This man, Sheen Woodson, has to be so frustrating to fight. Massive head, short torso, and legs like Didi from Dexter's Lab. Good win, though. So that was mixed martial arts mind, I believe. Martial mind. Yeah, that guy's cool. All right, let's go. We look at Woodson. Woodson has that flowy style. A good double leg takedown could probably throw Woodson off of his game. He tries to throw that uppercut, tries to just dance around, tries to find his movement, dance around the cage for 15 minutes, switch stance, dance around the cage, bop, 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 bop. And the reason why I like this style is because for a guy like Padilla, he's going to need to try to get that takedown. You know, when you're fighting a guy who's constantly moving his head, constantly moving his body, it's going to be harder to hit. I think a guy like Woodson needs to be careful if this fight touches the ground. You don't want to get your neck snatched up by a submission specialist in Fernando Padilla. But I think a guy like Woodson should be able to get a perfect win. I know Woodson's game and his style is a little bit hard to track down, but I think a good double leg takedown could stop the momentum, but he has good get-up game, and he should be able to get right back up. We see right here, Woodson. By far one of my favorite finishes by Woodson, because this guy, it didn't even look like it hurt. 1, 2, pop, 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 and then he's done. These look like baby punches. The way Woodson is, but he has undeceiving power, so he's able to finish. He's able to get this guy out of there. Beautiful, beautiful win. Beautiful work in the clinch as well. Beautiful. I think a guy like Sheen Woodson tends to look very odd, tends to look a little weird, but I think you need a guy like this in order to beat a guy like Padilla. So give me Sheen Woodson to get the finish. I mean, not to get the finish, but to win. I'll just take money line. Let's go. Now it's time for my lock of the week. I gave you guys Ramon Tavares, Miranda Maverick, Felipe Lima, Sheen Woodson. It's time for the lock of the week. Let's go. Lock of the week time is go time. Enough yip yap. Let's go. Lock of the week. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go. Joel Alvarez, 21-3-0. I've had success having lock of the week with Joel Alvarez before, but I want to mention how Joel Alvarez has only lost 1 decision. So you're going to be like, wow, he's minus 400, bro. Why would you put him as lock of the week? What the fuck? It's not just lock of the week. I want to mention how Joel Alvarez, to finish this fight inside the distance, every single Joel Alvarez win has been inside the distance. Every time he wins in the UFC, it's inside the distance. His only loss by decision is to Arman Tsarukyan, who was fighting for the belt at UFC 311 against Islam Makhachev. So I think that if he's going to win this fight, he's not winning this fight by decision. He has never won a fight by decision. I think he's going to win this fight inside the distance. I want to mention how we have to look at his worst performances just as we look at his best performances. Ali Abdul Halikov destroys Joel Alvarez in 34 seconds, circa 2015. Both fighters are scheduled to face different opponents. So this was very long ago. He gets dropped, and we have to look at how he gets dropped. You know, he's in a different area. He's in a different place. He gets dropped. How his survival instincts are. Joe Alvarez is on the skates. This guy's putting a masterclass on him. I'm just going to fast forward a little bit to the finishing sequence right here. So you can't see the spinning kick, but you see that he throws a spinning kick. As you see, he throws a spinning kick. The camera angle was off cameraman, but he actually finishes Joel Alvarez, as you can see from this angle, with a spinning kick. So if I'm Drakkar Klose, I'm practicing that spinning kick all day. I think Drakkar Klose is going to try to wrestle all day. He's going to try to get this guy down. He's going to try to clasp his hands against the cage, try to get a nice little double leg takedown. But we have to look at how this guy flows. One of the most important factors in MMA is your flow state. When you're on the back foot, when somebody's trying to pressure you forward, bink. Get them off you. Get them off you. Get your respect. Get your damage off. Get your due diligence off. Nice collar tie. Beautiful knees in the collar tie clinch. Walk your opponent down. See your opponents off the skates of being finished. Beautiful knees up the middle. Beautiful knees up the middle. As we see, Elvis Brenner tries to block his body like that. So you capitalize with the knees up the middle. Keep on consistently capitalizing off with the knees in the middle. Keep on going. If it works, it works. It's better than your punches. Keep on capitalizing and then finish the fight. That's what you call a finisher. I think he should be able to finish Drakkar Klose. Give me Joel Alvarez to win this fight by KO or submission. The props aren't fully out yet, but if you see Joel Alvarez jump on by KO or submission, he should be able to finish this fight inside the distance. I want to show here as well. This is Joel Alvarez highlights, his highlight reel. I'm going to fast forward right here. So we see that it's a mix of him knocking his opponent down and then maybe getting a submission, you know. So right here, he's playing with the guard. He's on bottom, but he's landing and having more success than his opponent who's in a top position. Right here, Alvarez is, again, beautiful high kick, beautiful walking his opponent down, beautiful ground game as well, beautiful elbows. I think even if Drakkar Klose is able to get him down, he should be able to work off his back, find a submission, get up, get right back up to his feet, maybe get a nice reversal, and land some beautiful ground and pound. Joel Alvarez is very long right here. If maybe Drakkar Klose tries to go for a takedown, he has to watch his neck because Alvarez could definitely try to find a little nice guillotine. Right here, we know he has a nice tight choke, and this guy is a specialist when it comes to just finishing his opponents. Another time where he's in a bottom position, in a position where normally people don't win in this position, and he's able to find a beautiful submission. This guy is by far one of the best athletes I've ever seen. Rolling his opponent, he's able to make his opponent tap. Beautiful. So it's a mix between whether he's going to KO you against Thiago Moises, by far one of my favorite wins, whether he's going to KO you or he's going to submit you, and it's an overwhelming amount of pressure to the point where you have no choice but to quit. It's going to be a banger fight. Beautiful spinning kick as well. Very good performance against Thiago Moises until he's able to finish him by standing TKO. Beautiful, amazing set of power. So that's my lock of the week, Joel Alvarez, to finish this fight inside the distance against Drakkar Klose. Let's go. Let's go. Lock of the week, baby. Let's go. All right. So now, my 6 most confident pick of the week, I gave you guys Ramon Tavares, Miranda Maverick, Felipe Lima, Sheen Woodson. Lock of the week, Joel Alvarez. My 6 most confident pick of the week, let's go. Anef Yip Yapin, let's go. Manel Kape to win his fight. He's 19-7-0. I know the record kind of doesn't look as tempting as you might want to, as it may appear to seem. But Manel Kape is set to face off against Bruno Silva, who is coming off of a beautiful wins. Bruno Silva has one of the best KO finishes over Cody Durden. Manel Kape's most recent loss is to Muhammad Mokaev. Manel Kape is a -390. Bruno Silva's a +280. I think Manel Kape to win this fight by KO or on points, or straight just Manel Kape to win by decision. I like the over 2.5 in this fight. If you don't want to risk it, you could take the over 2.5 in a different slip and then take Manel Kape by decision or by KO or on points. I think you should be able to beat a guy like Bruno Silva. I want to mention this is a nice little 2-leg parlay before we hit the parlay section. Obviously, I have 2 bonuses for you guys as well, so don't forget about that. Daniel Marcos plus Manel Kape goes for +104. On FanDuel, it's like -116. But right here, it turns out that you can win a lot. It's a nice little 2-leg parlay. Daniel Marcos and Manel Kape to both win their fights. Just money line. Just take Daniel Marcos and Manel Kape money line. 2-leg parlay. It should hit, in my opinion. Early parlay time. And then this is going to be the bonus. So let's give you guys a quick little recap. No highlights from Manel Kape because sometimes it's a little bit harder to find a section where, you know, we gotta get the ball rolling. Ramon Tavares to win his fight, money line. Miranda Maverick to win her fight by submission or on points. Maybe even a TKO, but I'm gonna go by submission or on points. Felipe Lima to win his fight, money line. Maybe by submission or on points is the best play. Sheen Woodson to win his fight, money line, -166. Joel Alvarez to win his fight inside the distance by KO or submission. The props aren't fully out yet. And then we go Manel Kape to win his fight. I want to mention that the bonus, I have two bonuses for you guys. So one of the bonuses is going to be the over 2.5 for Manel Kape versus Bruno Silva. And the other bonus is going to be Manel Kape by decision. So I actually have three bonuses for you guys. I always bless with bonuses. Over 2.5 for Manel Kape versus Bruno Silva. And then the second bonus is going to be Manel Kape by KO or on points to win his fight. And then we're going to get into the real bonus. So right here.
Trying to learn how to golf. Trying to learn how to golf.
What is you doing, man? Get your mind off them cakes. It's time to be great. Don't be thinking about them buns. Boy, go for a run. Let's get to work.
This motherfucker Joaquin Buckley. And then we're going to look at this. I hate looking at this KO. Need this to be Colby Covington this weekend so we don't hear from him again. I do not want this to happen by far. I do not want this to happen. But I know a lot of you guys want that to happen. Knockout Colby Covington. So we're going to get into the parlay section. But let's go for the bonus. The bonus is going to be the over 4.5. So my three bonuses are Manel Kape by KO on points, just like last week. Over 2.5 for Manel Kape versus Bruno Silva. And the over 4.5 for Joaquin Buckley versus Colby Covington. It is going to be at a -134. Does this fight go over 4.5? So does it go 2 minutes and 30 seconds into the fifth round? Does it go 2 minutes and 30 seconds into the fifth round? I think it does. I think a guy like Colby Covington should be able to put a pace, should be able to mix in at least one good double leg takedown in the third round in order to, you know, let's say he does a Leon Edwards performance. And he's just looking at Buckley. He's soft to the body. Buckley's going to be charging those body shots, charging those body kicks, trying to work his style, trying to work his range, trying to work his distance, and you're going to feel Buckley gaining momentum. If you watch Buckley, you know when he's going to win. You can feel the momentum growing on Buckley. You can feel his presence in the octagon growing until and his opponent has like a little bit of a timer left until he's going to get knocked out. So I think Buckley is a ticking time bomb. He's going to be trying to look for the KO, and maybe Colby can stall out the fight a little bit, make this look like a longer fight than it needs to be, grapple, slow the fight down, pass the time. As the time goes, I think the over 4.5 should hit. That means that worst case scenario, Buckley wins by decision. My opinion, I think this fight should go the distance. Colby is tough. When Colby gets finished, it is very, very rare. I know he won with Kamaru Usman toe-to-toe 5 rounds twice, although he did get finished the first time, but that was 4 years ago. I think Colby Covington's recovery is going to be a massive factor on whether this goes over 4.5 rounds or not. I think he should be able to get dropped, and I think Colby should be able to get right back up. He got dropped by Jorge Masvidal. I think Buckley's going to be trying to set up the body kick, and then maybe get a nice high kick, maybe drop Colby Covington. Colby tries to get right back up, trying to grab the ankle, tries to maul him, and then he ends up surviving. He loses that round, but he survives and makes it out the round. So this is more likely on whether Colby Covington is a shell of his former self or not. So give me the over 4.5 at a -134. At a -136, over 4.5. If you don't like this, you can always take the under 4.5. If you think that there's a finish on Buckley's side earlier, third round, second round, fourth round KO, take the under 4.5. It is +108. So with the overs or unders, it's always a bonus. So with the bonuses, I give you guys a choice whether you guys want to choose the over or the under. So me personally, my bonus is going to be the over 4.5. If you don't like that, if you're very high on Buckley, you could do under 4.5. I also like Buckley by KO on points at a -260. I know a lot of people like that as well. You can take that as well. I'm on Covington, but betting is different from a pick. So give me the over 4.5 at a -136. If you want to take the under, it's perfect. Now let's get into the parlay time. Let's get into the parlay section. Let's go. Enough yip yapping. Let's go. My first parlay is going to be Daniel Marcos and Manel Kape. Daniel Marcos and Manel Kape for -116. half a unit on it. $50 wins half a unit back. First parlay is a 2-leg parlay. It gets safer, and then as we get on, it gets more degen. Joel Alvarez, my next parlay. It's going to be Joel Alvarez, Adrian Yanez, and the over 4.5. So the over 4.5 is a minus 136. I took Adrian Yanez just because I know some people are heavy on Adrian Yanez. So this is a little bit of a light play. So Joel Alvarez, Adrian Yanez, over 4.5 comes up to plus 459. 0.10 units wins 45. So $10 on it wins 45. So if you do Joel Alvarez, Adrian Yanez, and the over 4.5, $10 wins you 45. I thought that was something light, something light to sprinkle. You can never know because a guy like Adrian Yanez could put the pace. Maybe if you don't like that, you could switch it with Daniel Marcos. You can always mix and match. There's never nothing wrong with going for a parlay. Now, this is a little bit on the safer side, a little bit more longer parlay. Joel Alvarez inside the distance. I don't have that prop yet, so I just took Joel Alvarez. So Joel Alvarez, Navajo Sterling, Miranda Maverick, Vitor Petrino, Daniel Marcos for a plus 503. So that's 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5-leg parlay for plus 503. Half a unit wins 251. So half a unit wins 2.51 units. So let's say Joel Alvarez, Navajo Sterling, Miranda Maverick, Vitor Petrino, Daniel Marcos. Me, as soon as that odds come up, as soon as that prop comes up, Joel Alvarez inside the distance, I'm going to be taking Joel Alvarez by KO on point, by KO or submission to finish this fight inside the distance. Joel Alvarez, Navajo Sterling, Miranda Maverick, Vitor Petrino, Daniel Marcos, all money line, plus 503, half a unit on it, $50 wins you $251. So let me repeat that one more time. Joel Alvarez, Navajo Sterling, Miranda Maverick, Vitor Petrino, Daniel Marcos, half a unit wins you $251 if you want to play that. Then it's going to get a little bit more crazy. Josephine Knudsen, Roman Tavares, Miranda Maverick, Sheen Woodson, 4-leg parlay for plus 394. $10 wins you 40 if you want to play a little light. I like that parlay. Josephine Knudsen, Roman Tavares, Miranda Maverick, Sheen Woodson, all money line. Plus 394, $10 to win 40. Then we're going to do another parlay. These are all parlays that I'm just throwing out there, just throwing knives at the wall to see which one you like or which one sticks. Billy Q, Joaquin Buckley by KO on points because, you get more odds. Billy Q, Joaquin Buckley, Vitor Petrino, Navajo Sterling, Miranda Maverick, and Ramon Tavares. 6-leg parlay for plus 578. So $20 wins you 115. Let me repeat that one more time. Billy Q to win over Cub Swanson. Joaquin Buckley to win over Colby Covington. Billy Q, Joaquin Buckley, Vitor Petrino, Navajo Sterling, Miranda Maverick, Ramon Tavares, plus 578. $20 wins you 115. I thought that was a nice little parlay that I like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nice little 6 parlay for plus 578. $20 to win 115. And then the D-Gen parlays. I only have 2 D-Gen parlays for you guys. You guys can mix and match. You guys can always put a different fighter you guys want. Josephine Knudsen, Michael Johnson, Roman Tavares, Miranda Maverick, Sheen Woodson, and Joel Alvarez. 6-leg parlay for plus 812. $10 to win 81. One more time. Josephine Knudsen, Michael Johnson, Roman Tavares, Miranda Maverick, Sheen Woodson, and Joel Alvarez. 6-leg parlay to $10 wins you $81. And then right here, if you want to go heavy, you could go heavy. If you want to go light, you could go lighter. Buckley by KO on points, Billy Q, Manel Kape, Vitor Petrino, Daniel Marcos, Navajo Sterling, Joel Alvarez, Miranda Maverick, Roman Tavares. 9-leg parlay for plus 1,560. $5 wins you 78. So what I figured was with these D-Gen parlays, I know a lot of people like D-Gen parlays. There's nothing wrong with just throwing $2, $3, $5 on a nice little D-Gen parlay. And if it hits, you win massive. If it doesn't hit, you just lose $2. It's like donating. So let me repeat that one more time. My last degenerate parlay, my biggest degenerate parlay. Buckley by KO on points, Billy Q, Manel Kape, Vitor Petrino, Daniel Marcos, Navajo Sterling, Joel Alvarez, Miranda Maverick, Ramon Tavares for plus 1,560. $5 on it to win 78. If you want to go heavier, you can. If you want to go lighter, you can. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you guys like my parlays. Little parlay section. It's parlay time. Hey, All right, I'll see you guys in the next one. Let's go. My work here is done. I hope you guys like the lock of the week. I hope you guys like my picks. And I hope you guys like my 6 best bets of the week. I'll see you guys in the next one. Let me know if you guys want a new segment. Let me know if you guys want an in-depth breakdown on Colby Covington versus Joaquin Buckley. You got it. I'm going to be putting out a bunch of polls. And thank you guys. We're already about to hit 2,100 subs. You guys are a blessing in disguise. Let's go. Sometimes I'm getting a haircut and I'm getting it for free because of you guys. So thank you guys. Let's go. I'll see you guys in the next one. Let's go. Peace. Let's get it. The best is blessed, baby. Let's go. UFC 311 too. UFC 311 is stacked. Let's get it, baby. Hey.